Statistics, a dominating factor in the modern NBA. Whether we like it or not, it is an integral part of analytics and metric in the present NBA and is a driving force for a lot of NBA teams in this present moment. It's simple, really. If you take more shots, you're more likely to make more. But what if you could make more while being effective and pick your spots while doing so? That is the question that analytics and statistics answer. The NBA world might be torn about statistics and analytics because they destroy the overall feeling and literature of the beautiful game that is basketball. But the fact of the stature is that analytics are very important. Let's talk about teams implementing this. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are probably the best team versed with analytics and metrics when it comes to playing the game. You live by the three, you die by the three. Stack up all the best three-point shooters percentage-wise in the league and hope the analytics takes you to the NBA championship. And in doing so, they actually won a championship in 2024, defeating Luka Doncic's Dallas Mavericks. But it's also not to say that this has not backfired in favor of them. In their previous NBA playoff series, the Boston Celtics blew a 3-1 lead to the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Now take a look at this. In Game 7, the Celtics took 49 threes and only made 13, which is a percentage of 26.5 from the three ball. The 76ers almost made the same amount while nearly shooting half the threes. Pretty insane, right? They reap what they sow. Their own philosophy killed them. You live by the three, you die by the three. They were even down 17 at some point. And you know what? That's not the craziest part. They actually managed to come back. And despite losing and blowing a 3-1 lead, they only lost by 9. What does this all mean? Despite being down by a large sum, they almost managed a comeback win and a saving from embarrassment. Despite those number of threes chucked, they almost won. This could maybe prove that despite putting up way less percentages from the field entirely, it almost saved them. Remember what I said at the start of the video. If you take more shots, you're more likely to make more. In fact, excluding free throws, the Celtics had only made 2 shots less than the 76ers. An important 2 field goals nevertheless, but the concept is simple really. They had taken an enormous amount of 3-pointers. If they made more of them, we will be talking about how the Boston Celtics emphatically blew out the 76ers. But a basketball game isn't decided by a stat sheet. It's decided on a court. And frankly, the 76ers were the better team on the day, and especially in the clutch. Offense. The importance of analytics in offense is on an intense uprise. Analytics helps teams understand their schemes and what needs to be changed and tweaked for the next game. Too many threes, not enough threes. Unfortunately for the Boston Celtics, they were in a win or go home situation, so no post-match analysis was possible. But analytics can possibly help teams to show them how much combinations of what type of shots they need to win against certain opponents. For example, you would need to take and make the 3-point volume and makes of the 2017 Golden State Warriors respectively, as they are an elite 3-point shooting and making team. Or with a team that barely takes 3-pointers, you take slightly more, while integrating more of the 2-point shot. Or playing against a team that takes a lot of threes, but is poor at making them. You ideally want to take more than they make, because the percentages and analytics say one thing, but the professional teams can get hot at any point, so you have to make sure that you're ready to match them at any given moment. These are the combinations that come with studying analytics and statistics to the offensive end. Obviously, playing elite defense and getting stops is just as equal as performing in the offensive end. Defense. Defense is vital in terms of analytics because it tells a team what type of shots a certain team takes, how many they take of those certain shots, and if they're good at it. It allows for defensive schemes. If certain teams or players struggle in certain areas of the court, force them to play in those areas. Similar to using players' hot zones in NBA 2K to determine players' hot and cold zones on the court and playing teams to the scheme in accordance to where players are likely to put up and make their shots in more of a frequency than other areas on the court. Neutralizing threes. Don't allow the bigs to get inside post or paint touches. Forces teams to play certain ways. Unfortunately, for more of the historically good teams, it's harder to stop them at what they're good at. The Showtime Lakers in transition. The KD Warriors with their elite three-point takers and makers. The present-day Thunder in capitalizing on live ball turnovers. Trying to stop them usually means you taking care of your business rather than forcing those teams to play a certain way. And whatever happens, happens. You just have to take it on the chin and move on. Whether you believe analytics, statistics are killing the scope of the NBA, they are a vital part of growth in the league, and in this current day and age, it's the driving force of the league. Teams use these as blueprints to game plan because at the end of the day, the game is played on the basketball court, not a stat sheet.